Hi team, happy Tuesday, March 24th, 2020, and welcome to day 2 of our virtual classroom. Today's warm-up is to complete a table with either agree or disagree and why you agree or disagree to the following statements. And we're going to come back to these statements in a couple of days and review our opinions on it. I'll read the statements here and then give you time to pause and fill it out if you haven't. And if you have, then you can just fast forward a little bit already. We can talk about this during office hours today, 10 to 10:30, or even if you're doing this after Tuesday's office hours the next day, because these are going to be some of the guiding ideas that are bigger picture that we'll start talking about this week and into next week. Statement number 1, technology is a luxury that only some people should have. Decide if you agree or disagree and explain why. 2, technology can be dangerous. Decide if you disagree or agree, explain why. 3, there is no such thing as too much technology usage. 4, technology can make everyone's life better and easier. 5, there are no downsides to using technology all of the time. 6, technology has led to a breakdown in communication between family and friends. Pause here if you need to. Finish up deciding if you agree or disagree in your explanation. Either get it typed into the Google Doc that you'll submit or write it in your notebook or both. So that way you have these ideas organized and you're able to look back at them, because there will be a part of an assignment later where we have to look back at your original answers. Today's aim, KIPPsters will be able to read a text closely to understand important plot details that influence the ending of a story. Notes for today, your board equals paper. Pretty quick in some areas, a little bit review in others. The biggest part of the new things is how we're going to do it on the computer. I've tried to provide you links to help you out with some of that, so it's not so much me talking, but as always, if you have questions, please ask me. Only vocabulary word today is Veldt, V-E-L-D-T, the Veldt, the whole story we've been reading. As a reminder, it's a grassland in Africa, and there is a link if a visual is more helpful to you. How to annotate in Google Docs. So we're just going to build on what we used to do. So when we would see a new character, you can see characters there in a box. Normally we would put a box around our characters. When annotating in a Google Doc, though, we're just going to bold and underline a character's name. Yesterday I talked some about how to format Command or Control B for bold, Command or Control U for underline, or use the bold and underline at the top in the formatting. If you need more direction or maybe someone else to explain it a different way, click that link that's right there and pause. I give it where she met her friend Akila to hang out during their spring break. You can see that Amaya is bold and underlined, same for Akila, bold and underlined, as they are the characters introduced in that sentence. We are still going to underline text that is evidence, so Command U, just highlight the text and go ahead and underline. Again, that link up above will be helpful to you if you are still confused about how to format that. I'm going to start giving you boxes for where I require gist statements. If there is a comment that you want to add and there's not a gist box, you can just highlight the words that you want to write a comment about, hit the plus sign on the right-hand side, and I put in a picture of what it looks like, and then type your comment from there. You can also watch a video linked right there to give you more help with how to add comments. And like I said before, as always, if you have questions, please ask. I'm going to pause right here so you can finish up any notes that you need to make in your notebook before we move on to practice 1. Starting with practice 1, I want you to remember characters are bolded and underlined, evidence is underlined, write just statements in boxes that I put for you, and use the comment function to add your own comments about steel. Looking at practice 1, I'm going to read and I'm going to go through how I would write a just statement with this. A lot of this is actually going to just be around how I would normally read things to you. So, The Veldt by Ray Bradbury. George, I wish you'd look in the nursery. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to bold and underline George because he is a character. We would normally put a box around him. See the word nursery? I'm going to wonder if maybe there is a baby in this story. What's wrong with it? I don't know. Well then, I just want you to look at it is all, and call a psychologist in to look at it. Well, what does a psychologist want with a nursery? You know very well what he'd want. His wife paused. I bold and underlined wife because it's the first time that speaker is being introduced. We don't know her name yet in this section. Paused in the middle of the kitchen and watched the stove busy humming to itself, making supper for 4. Seems like the stove is being personified here, so I might make a note about that for Seal, where the stove seems to have lifelike qualities. It's just that the nursery is different now than it was. All right, let's have a look. They walked down the hall of their soundproofed Happy Life home. I'm just going to make a note maybe in the box below or just maybe italicize. You can use that function, Happy Life home. We have not heard this term before. That's new. Down the hall of their soundproof Happy Life home, which had cost them $30,000 installed. This house which clothed and fed and rocked them to sleep and played and sang and was good to them. Their approach sensitized a switch somewhere and the nursery light flicked on when they came within 10 feet of it. Similarly, behind them in the halls, lights went on and off as they left them behind with a soft automaticity. Well, said George Adley. So now we know George's full name. We still don't know his wife's name. But our gist, what is happening here? So there was dialogue. We have George and his wife, whose name we still don't know. So I'm going to start by saying George and his wife are worried about the state of the nursery, and they walk down the hallway to check on it, which automatically turns on lights for them as they go. That is all we know so far. You're going to need to read on to learn more about what happens. The rest of the lesson is you reading and annotating this short story. Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to be assigning extra homework outside of your classwork. So the bulk of today's work is this annotations, and your exit ticket is going to be asking you to write a small summary, summarizing what happened in the text, especially making sure to be clear on your ending. I know sometimes we've practiced writing summaries in the past where we leave the ending ambiguous or unknown because you don't want to spoil it for anyone. I need you to spoil it for me and prove to me that you understand what happened at the end, because you have to make an inference to understand the ending. If you don't understand the ending and I see that in your exit ticket, I'm going to be following up with you because I'm concerned that you won't be ready for tomorrow. So that's the big thing, is just making sure you've read this, putting in those gists, annotating, and answering that exit ticket. Remember that we use Google Forms. I've linked the Google form in the assignment in Google Classrooms, but also I have the question written out for you at the bottom and links in there as well. It's also written in the link for the Google form for you too. The other thing that I put on the assignment besides this YouTube video for you in Google Classroom is I've included a different teacher who's reading the complete audio of the book. So if you prefer to listen, pause them and jot your gist statement, that's completely fine. But to get points for your classwork, I need to be able to see you bolding, underlining, that sort of thing in the text and writing those gist statements in the appropriate place. Points for your exit ticket, points for the classwork, just basically very plug and go, your annotations, and then your summary at the end. As always, please come to office hours from 10 to 10:30 every weekday, or just shoot me a call or a text and we can hop on Google Hangouts if need to help you through any work that you need. Okay. Also, one last reminder and plug for the class survey. It's in Google Classroom. It's on yesterday's classwork. If you didn't finish that, get that done. I'm giving out 100 points extra credit for giving me your opinion as I'm trying to get your lessons settled for the next few weeks. I want it to be something that you want to do. I want to have fun learning. I'm sure you do too. might be a little bit boring just to be stuck in the house, okay? So I want to make sure it is something that you care about, want to be able to celebrate you and use your opinion. So make sure you get that done and get your extra credit. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.